Good morning. I'm Mr. Perney, and no, this is not my senior chapel. But seriously, dude, how old are you? Are you a student? Can I call you by your first name? You're so young. Pern dog, what's happening? My parents thought you were a junior. We're only like 6 years apart. That pretty much means we're the same age. These are all things that I've heard in my time since I've returned to this wonderful school. So to answer your questions, I am 25. I am not a student. My first name is Chad, but no, you may not call me that. I may be young and even enjoy longboarding from time to time, but no, my darlings, that does not mean that we are the same age. I graduated 3 years ago from a very small college in Lakeland, Florida. I walked down the aisle and received my diploma from Southeastern University on May 6, 2011, with a bachelor's degree in church ministries and a minor in leadership, and consequently teach the Bible and leadership classes here at Lumiere. You may be thinking, what is this guy doing here? What can you offer me, Mr. Perney? What can you say or do to change my life? And believe me, I ask these questions to myself on a regular basis. What am I doing here? What can I offer you guys in an attempt to make you mature and aid in your learning process? One of my favorite scriptures comes from the first book of Timothy in the 4th chapter, and it reads, "Don't let anyone think less of you because you're young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity." I try my best to live my life this way. So in response to that, even though I may be young, I believe I have a lot to offer today. I may not be the smartest person in the room, or the wisest, or the funniest, but I may not have traveled to the farthest parts of the world, but the mere fact that I have air in my lungs means that I have something to say. When thinking about my chapel talk, a lot went through my head. Should I be funny? Should I be serious? What should I talk about? But the question that kept resurfacing in my head was, what brought me back to Lumiere? First, a little background. I want you to know that I've sat in the very seats you're sitting in today. Well, not the exact ones, but I've sat in the FAB. I walked the very halls you used to get from class to class and participated in many great Lumiere traditions that we still have. The senior bonfire, bookstore basketball, the taste of Lumiere, and yes, even I gave a senior chapel. I had many of the same teachers that you have or will have on your Lalu journey. I graduated from Lumiere in 2008, and as a student, I took for granted my teachers and had no clue the sacrifices that they made every day to make my life great. To this day, I'm in debt to their service and love, and to all who put up with me along my journey and who had a role in making me the man I am today, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. I tell you all this because I want you to know I understand what high school at Lumiere is like. It wasn't so long ago that I've forgotten, and I realized that high school is tough. For many of you, sometimes high school can just be brutal. So, what brought me back to Lumiere? Was it the gorgeous campus? Was it the change from working a retail job to something completely new? Was it the benefit of working here? No. After some thought, I came to this conclusion. You are my family. At the core of every human being, we have this burning need to belong. We long to be accepted. We sometimes drive each other crazy for attention. And what I found at Lumiere is that we all have a voice. We all have a role to play in making this place work. And we truly are a family. And we all belong here and need each other. Now, what does this mean? Dictionary.com defines family as a social unit consisting of one or more adults together with the children they care for. And that's exactly what we are. We have way more than one adult here today, and these adults, or we like to call them teachers, live every day for you, meaning the people they care for. Some families may fight each other, some families may cry together, some families may laugh until the early hours of the morning. Some families may get so mad with each other, and some families may move. But the one characteristic that all families have in common is that they have each other's backs. You see, it took me quite some time as a student to realize the love and support that I felt here at Lumiere. But once I realized this place was special, it was a place that I could grow and fail and be myself, it truly became a home, a family. You will hear over and over and over again from faculty that this place is special and that great things will happen here. And believe me, I'm no exception to what you'll hear. I would not be a part of this community if I did not believe in the mission and the vision of this awesome place. Now I'm going to share with you something that I learned recently about Lumiere. After all my years of being a student and last year working here, I've never observed this. Many of you know Mr. Earls. He's a great guy. But right after he first arrived on campus, we were talking, and he said something so profound, I just have to share it. You ready? In our conversation, we were speaking about how Lumiere functions, how things would look on a day-to-day basis. I was explaining to him that the chaos doesn't really end with orientation, it just continues. And he said this is weird. This is totally not normal. I hope they know that this doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. And it hit me. He was right. It only took someone brand new to the community a second to realize what it took me 5+ years. What we do here is totally, as Mr. Earls would put it, weird. The amount of time we spend together is weird. The amount of homework that you have is, well, weird. Required sports by every right is weird. But we do it because we're a little school in the woods in the middle of LaPorte, Indiana, that has this goal, and that goal is to see you succeed. It's human nature to take for granted the things that they have access to. Examples, electricity, air conditioning, the car you drive every day until you don't have it. And sadly, we don't realize how much we appreciate it until it's gone. As I stand before you today, I beg of you that it would not be the same with Lumiere. Make the most of every day. Laugh, love, learn, be all in, be you, and do it all with your family by your side. One of my favorite hashtags on Instagram is Live Unbound. I love it because it has so many applications. This 3-syllable hashtag can mean so much with such minimal effort, and it can be used to prove my point here today. You have a chance here to belong without trying to impress anyone. You have a chance to make the corny joke and nobody judge you for it. You have the chance to try and even fail, and those who care about you so dearly are right here to pick you up and put you back where you left off. The opportunities that you have here will present themselves maybe once in a lifetime, so take advantage of them. Live unbound. Go to the sporting events and cheer like you've never cheered before. Ask the tough questions. Go that extra mile. Live unbound. Make the most out of every minute. I promise you that you're not going to be at the end of your life and say, man, I wish I was less of a kid and more of an adult. You're a teen. Do kid things. Join that committee. Ask that person out. Take risks. Have fun. Live unbound. This is just another way of saying carpe diem, or seize the day. Live every day in a glorious way. So why did I come back to Lumiere? I knew I had a family here who wanted me to grow and even to fail, because that means I'm just that much better and that much stronger the next time around. I think it's because Lumiere took a chance on me as a student, and I figured it's only right to take a chance on it as an adult. Shout out to Mr. Kuntz, both Kennedys, and Mr. Smith for giving me that chance. It's because I knew I belong here, at least for this season of my life, using my skills and talents to change the world. You see, I don't take my job lightly, and neither do my colleagues. This is how I view it. Every time I have you in class, every conversation we have, or any time you actually listen to what I'm saying, it's just an investment. And maybe one day you'll cash in on that investment and invest in others. And that, my children, is how you'll change the world. One day, one person, one conversation at a time. I love my job because I can be as creative as I want, and I can cause you to love your Lumiere experience. So, I ask you the same question that I asked myself at the start of writing this chapel. What will cause you to come back to Lumiere? When you are old and have grown up, what will be the catalyst that drives you to book the flight or to hop in a car and return to this great place? What will cause you to send your children to this school in the woods? I bet it's not the classes or the victories on the athletic fields. I bet it's not the beautiful lake or the Walmart runs that will bring you back. I bet it's not this chapel talk, even though I'd like to think so, but rather the family you're sitting next to right now, and the wonderful efforts of the teachers surrounding you today. It's the fact that while you're here, you had the chance to live unbound by anything other than your own expectations. It's the fact that you are an investment and you are just doing your part in investing back in this place. I had a roommate in college who would always come up to me and say, "Dude, I love you too." The first time he said this to me, I laughed because I didn't say I love you. And he said it again and again until it became an inside joke between us. I believe it was because he understood that love is not just a word you say or even something you feel, it's something that you do. He knew that my actions towards him showed nothing but love, and that I wanted him to succeed in everything that he did. I would help him along the way in any way that I could, and I wanted the very best for him. So today, I'm asking you to care for each other in a very real way. Be a family. Upperclassmen, you know that if your younger sibling needed you, you would be there for them in an instant. Look out for those under you and be a good example. Be this marvelous family that I came back to over a year ago. I'll leave you with this. It's the same challenge that I issued my Bible Lit class on their first day. Since we are a family, I realize that families may fight from time to time, and that's okay. But the next time you want to lash out at your classmate or start that rumor or even not be a team player, remember this. With no surprise to some of you, it comes out of the Bible. Philippians 2:3 states, "Do nothing out of vain conceit or pride, but in everything treat others better than you treat yourself." Do me a favor, look out for each other. And family, I love you too. Thank you.